I'm engaged to someone else. The words landed on the dining table, and my world fell apart in an instant. I stood there, staring at the diamond ring on her finger, stunned and wanting to laugh at her sheer audacity. This was Emily, my girlfriend of 4 years, the woman I'd let live in my house for over 2.5 years. And now she was announcing that while she was living in my house, she was engaged to someone else. That evening, we were getting ready for dinner. Emily, 32, had cooked a pot of pasta, opened the wine, and set the table beautifully like it was an anniversary party. I thought maybe she had just gotten a promotion or some other good news. But when she put her hand on the table, the ring glinting, the smile on her face not hiding the happiness I had never seen before, she said, "You have to know this first. I'm engaged to Bradley. We've been dating for a few months, and he proposed yesterday." I put down my fork, my eyes darting from the ring to Emily, then back to her. "You got engaged while living in my house?" I asked, my voice low, both shocked and trying to keep my composure. She smiled as if I were the only one who hadn't heard the good news. "Yeah, isn't that great? You'll be the first to know." The sheer audacity of it made me laugh wearily. "Emily, are you out of your mind?" I asked, trying to keep my voice even. She shrugged, her eyes innocent but determined. "No, honey, I'm in love. Bradley is amazing. He's everything I could ever want." "And why are you telling me this? We live together," I continued, feeling my heart squeeze. She replied casually, "Yeah, things will change, but I think we can work out a plan for moving. Maybe you can stay for another month or two while Brad and I look for a place to live." I stood up, went to the cupboard, poured myself a scotch, took a sip, and turned back to her. "Congratulations to both of you." My voice was cold, low, without any softness. Emily was a little confused. "Really? I was worried you'd be angry." I got straight to the point. "Emily, pack your things. Tonight." She rolled her eyes, stunned. "You're not serious. I live here." "No, you've lived here, in the past," I said firmly. "You just announced your engagement. We're done. You have to leave tonight." She protested. "This is illegal. I'm the tenant. You have to give 30 days notice." I smiled bitterly and replied, "You're not the tenant. Never paid rent. Haven't signed any papers. You're a guest who's become a thing of the past. I'm asking you to leave my property." Emily started taking out her phone, filming. "You're harassing me." "I'm recording evidence." I pulled out my phone, dialed 911. "Hello, I need assistance removing someone from my property. She just announced her engagement while living here and refuses to leave." About 20 minutes later, 2 police officers showed up, professional, but their eyes couldn't hide their surprise. I presented proof of ownership of the house and the situation. The police looked at Emily skeptically. "You just announced your engagement while living here, right?" She replied, "No, but I've lived here for years. I have the right." One of the officers said sternly, "Do you have a lease?" She was confused. "No, but I get my mail here." They received a letter with no proof of tenancy. "Are you paying rent?" The confusion was evident on Emily's face as I opened my banking app and showed her all the bills, mortgage payments, utilities, all from my account, proving she had never contributed. The police gently reminded me, "Technically, you may have the right to be here, but under the circumstances, we advise you to pack your things yourself tonight." Emily burst into tears, tears of anger and frustration, calling Bradley from her bedroom, screaming as she packed her things. Brad lived with 3 roommates and couldn't pick her up tonight. She packed suitcases, trash bags, and live streamed on Instagram, telling me I was kicking her out because she had found happiness with someone else. As she left, the police advised me, change the locks and install cameras. I just smiled. "A locksmith is here." Thanks. I knew that tonight, my house would be about me, and eventually, peace will return. The next morning, my phone was practically blowing up. 67 unread messages, 30 missed calls, and a bunch of Instagram notifications. Among them, there was one from Bradley, to whom Emily had just gotten engaged. "Bro, this is a little cold to her. It's not okay. She needs time to pack." I just curled my lip. "Bro, you proposed to my girlfriend while she was living in my house. It's not okay." Then Emily's mom, Janet, called at 7 a.m. "Paul, what's going on?" "I heard you kicked Ronnie out." I replied, "Well, morning, Janet. Has she mentioned her engagement?" She was silent for a moment, then, "What? She's engaged to Bradley. They've been dating for months?" I heard her voice drop, worried. They think your kids are just roommates. I knew. The truth was we were tired of this drama. By noon, Bradley showed up at my door. His hair was in a bun, his Prius parked in the driveway, his eyes a mixture of curiosity and anger. I didn't need to say anything. We don't need to talk. You proposed to my girlfriend while she lived here. You created a problem. Get over it. Bradley laughed sarcastically. You know, she said you knew about it and agreed. I said slowly, word by word. I heard it for the first time last night. She announced the engagement at my house for dinner. He blushed, trying to keep his cool, but I could see the helplessness that Emily had taken advantage of both men. The story became more tense when Emily tried to paint me as a controlling, emotionally abusive person on social media. I just smirked, posting a detailed response, proof of all the expenses paid by me, her loving text messages a few days ago, the restaurant bill the night of the engagement. Everything was clear, irrefutable. A day later, Emily's sister, Melissa, called. Paul, can you help me a little? Emily won't leave. I don't want to fight with her, but I need to sort out her things. I just said gently, it's all packed. Come over when you want to get it. I'll leave it in the yard. The story continues with Emily and Bradley. He now realizes all the drama and the items were bought by me. His face turns red when he learns that everything in the house, including the living room furniture, belongs to me. The situation gets worse when Emily tries to take the car I lent her. She says it's hers, but I registered it in my name. It's completely mine. She calls the police, but when they check the papers, everything is clear. I'm the owner. Emily has to take an Uber to her sister's house. The cost is $73, all on her own. A few days later, Bradley and 3 friends come to my house, intending to pick up Emily's things. I calmly call 911. The police show up just in time when the 4 of them try to break in. Their actions are recorded. The police record the crime of trespassing. 2 are warned. 1 is handcuffed. I look straight into Bradley's eyes. You proposed to your friend my daughter while she lived here. Now you want to play legal games? Try it. I have full papers. We'll sue both of them for unpaid rent. Emily's family gradually got involved. Her mother, Janet, and father, Robert, met me at the coffee shop. I presented all the evidence, bank statements, receipts, text messages. Janet realized that her daughter had been living entirely off me, taking advantage of my kindness for over 2 years. They gave me an envelope of $5,000 as an apology for what their daughter had taken from me. I took it, knowing that everything was now clear and transparent. 2 weeks later, Emily still refused to stop the drama. She posted on social media that I was mentally abusing her, illegally kicking her out. I sneered. All the evidence, receipts, text messages were there. She even found a lawyer, filed a cease and desist order, asking me to pay $50,000 for mental damage. I sent back the legal documents, attaching all the evidence of the 2.5 years she lived rent-free, and her entire claim was dismissed. 3 weeks later, Emily then moved back in with her parents, worked part-time, and continued to Instagram her journey of self-discovery. She got engaged to someone she had never met in person. Her family recognized the problem with overprotection and started therapy to fix the mistakes. I finally had peace in my home and started a new relationship with Rebecca, who actually knew how to share and respect each other's property and lives. The drama that happened made me realize love without being sober sometimes makes people blind. Emily created countless problems, but looking back, I feel lucky because I handled everything with reason, with legal proof, and most importantly, with calm in every action. About 3 months later, things gradually calmed down, but the drama was not really over. Emily was still trying to sow chaos from afar. Bradley called me one Friday. Paul, I need your help with something. Emily doesn't willing to leave her mother's house and is threatening to say you assaulted her if we try to do anything. I smirked. Brad, you proposed to someone else's girlfriend while she was living with me? Now you want me to intervene? Take care of your own business. I only have one piece of advice. Install cameras, record everything. Call the police when necessary. The law will be on your side, but only if you know how to use it properly. Bradley was silent for a moment, looking both embarrassed and angry. You're right. I really don't know what trap I'm falling into. I just smiled. Exactly. Take responsibility for your choices and don't put yourself into dangerous situations again. Emily eventually had to leave her parents' house after Bradley and his friends discovered they had also been lied to and were financially unable to support her. She moved in with an online friend she had just met, never met in person, and started making up "I am the victim" stories on social media. However, people gradually realized the truth, and Emily was left with a group of online friends who did not understand the truth. Meanwhile, I enjoyed the peace I had returned to in my home. I started dating Rebecca, who had a stable lifestyle, respected property, and shared all expenses fairly. It felt different. Everything was transparent, and there was no drama. I no longer woke up in the morning worrying about messages or warnings from Emily. One day, I ran into one of Bradley's old roommates at a bar. He told me the whole story of his last days living with Emily. Emily had convinced Bradley to ask for a divorce kiss by saying she was pregnant. When the truth came out, Bradley broke off the relationship. The roommates installed cameras in the common room, recording everything, including the moment Emily confessed that she was never pregnant and laughed at the manipulation of men. They gave the video to the police, and all the evidence was ready to defend themselves if needed. Looking back, the red flags were everywhere. Emily had not worked steadily for the past 2 years, always finding excuses, always having crises to avoid responsibility, living completely dependent on me, but wanting to control and benefit from both sides. The dinner when she announced the engagement was actually a fake gift. Emily thought I would continue to let her stay while planning her wedding with Bradley. I smiled, closed my eyes, and took a deep breath. The house was clean, the bills were down, the mental stress was gone. Every morning I woke up, lying in my bed, in my house, with the feeling of peace I haven't felt in a long time. Emily, with all her drama and intrigue, is now someone else's problem. Once again, the lesson is clear. Live right, be transparent, and protect yourself, and the drama will fade away. I looked around the living room, which had been witness to so much, and chuckled. Karma may sometimes come slowly, but when it does, it is always complete and precise. Everything is fine. I learned to love without being blind, to set boundaries, and not let my kindness be taken advantage of. Life goes on, and in the end, peace is the most precious thing.